Students, and welcome to Strixhaven, the most prestigious university for magical learning in Magic's multiverse. We have things to show you today, including some new mechanics, a ton of sweet card previews, and lots more.
I still don't
Everything
hear the
you'll
sound.
need
Is
for
there
your
any way
first day at the most magical university ever. So join us as we take a tour of Strixhaven.
Something, Jake.
School
I'm
of
sharing sound on my
Mages.
side. Let me reset it.
All right. Let's see.
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy Wong, and I'll be your tour guide today as we learn all about Strixhaven School of Mages. Now, of course, this is no ordinary school, and here to help us explain the history of it, the one and only Taylor Ingverson from Wizards of the Coast. Hey Taylor, how's it going, man?
Hey Jimmy, thanks for having me on. Are you super excited to learn
DJ,
about
that's
Strixhaven?
funny.
Yes, I'm beyond stoked because I get to relive college parties, throwing the frisbee on the quad, partying late at night, and playing Arena till 3 a.m. and my mom can't stop me. And there are no tests today,
You
right?
might want to check your
Not
thing
today.
because
and
it's not
I'm
like
not
a
going to
Skype
test
thing.
today, so no worries on that.
All right, sweet. Okay, let's hear about Strixhaven.
All right, so Strixhaven is Magic's most prestigious university that focuses on higher magical learning. It's separated into 5 unique colleges that all have their own unique magical flair and approach to their spellcasting. So when you go to Strixhaven, you, the player, get to decide which college is the best fit for you.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like figuring out where you fit in, what crowd you're going to hang out with, or what commander play group you're going to play with.
Even more important, it's also about the type of magic you want to use and want to study, and more importantly, like, it's also going
Mages
to
have to
define and help you
listen
sort
to it
of
up
find your
down.
own voice and what kind of mage you would like to be,
Separately.
and how you would
Okay.
like to affect
Any
the world
feedback
that
at
you're
the end of
living
this video.
in for future generations to come. So once you pick your college, you get to wear your school colors with pride and compete against rival colleges and have awesome magical duels with other students.
Okay, so this is amazing. Sounds like one of the first things we need to do is figure out which college we all want to go to.
Yeah, so there's no rush on that either. Like, in fact, you get the entire first year to go around to all the other colleges and figure out which one's the best fit.
Oh, okay. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but carry on. What else is there?
So Strixhaven was near and dear to all of us, and as we were working on building this thing up, what was most important to us was to just build an awe-inspiring university for a safe place of learning and an accepting place that no matter what you were welcome there. So something that we also really wanted to do to give it a unique flair is take all the areas of study and visually build a language to help describe what that college is about. Of course, Strixhaven lives on the plane of Arcavios.
Oh, a new plane.
Yeah, new plane's so exciting. It's so full of wonder and mystery and big, magical, mysterious creatures. So this is the best place for you to come and learn and hone your skills and decide who you want to be as a mage.
Wow.
And actually going and getting accepted to Strixhaven is considered an incredible honor all across Arcavios.
I'm sort of getting this warm fuzzy feeling like the first time I picked up a Magic deck.
Where
It was
is
like,
the
I like this
official
color. I don't
stream?
like that
Magic's
color. So Strixhaven kind of got
YouTube
that
channel.
vibe to it too.
A little bit, yeah, absolutely. There's the different colors will allow you to do different forms of magic and sort of express yourself in different ways. So there will definitely be some that are like, this one's not for me, or like, absolutely, this is what I'm about. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Okay, I love it. Okay, well, speaking of the best at this school, well, let's talk about some of the planeswalkers we're gonna see on this set. Are there any famous alumni that players are gonna recognize?
Oh heck yeah! So there will absolutely be characters that will recognize at this school because of its
Here we go.
prestige. It attracts all sorts of familiar faces from all over. First up, we have the twin planeswalkers, Rowan and Will. Let's take a look.
Ooh, well, when you say let's
here
take a
we
look
go.
at their cards, you mean let's take a look at their card, because this is a Moldо Devil Face card. On both sides, we have Rowan, Scholar of Sparks. And on the back side, Will, Scholar of Frost.
Oh, wow.
Now they're scholars. This is pretty exciting.
Yeah,
Damage to
they were
opponent
actually
if you've
sent
drawn 3
there
or more
to
cards.
Strixhaven by Kasmina to test both their magical skills and their character. So let's take a peek at Kasmina.
Kasmina, Enigma Sage. I was hoping
Borderless
to
art on
see
her looks
Kasmina
cool.
again soon, and because she is very clearly someone that likes Magic, this seems like the perfect place for her to be. And of course, the borderless art looks awesome as well. Is that an owl or a familiar that is on her staff?
Yeah, it's her owl. Super cool. So then we'll have Luca, who's still coming to terms with his power and is drawn to this kind of crazy, mysterious presence of these
Luca.
dark mages called the Auric.
Oh, nice. I love the action pose here. What's he on his way to? Like, is he late for class or is he doing something cooler?
Being late for class can be quite the adventure in itself.
I'm very
Here
used
comes
to that
Luca.
adventure.
Also, there's another one. So there is a mysterious planeswalker who's a professor in the mix, check out Professor Onyx.
Professor Onyx. And it's got Magecraft, a new mechanic from Strixhaven we'll learn about later. Oh, Professor Onyx, legendary planeswalker. Wait a minute. Professor Onyx, I mean, don't you, it says it right here, don't you mean Lily?
No, I mean, Professor Onyx. You got it the first time, right?
Professor Onyx, but then you just keep reading, and then it says literally on the card. It literally says Liliana.
Yep, Professor Onyx. She's so cool. I'm so excited that you're intrigued by her.
That's an interesting art choice.
It seems like an ongoing theme here of planeswalkers impersonating other people, but it seems like it's ripe for a great story, so I'm pretty excited for that. Wow. All these planeswalkers look great. I'm always excited to see some of my favorite characters. Casmina, I'm really stoked about. There's so much history and prestige here. I get the idea that
we're gonna go back and look at Will and Rowan after this, y'all.
Oh, it has, absolutely.
We blew right past
but
those.
I bet you didn't guess that it was founded by 5 magically casting dragons 700 years ago.
Okay.
And before you ask, I know it's the first thing on your mind, but I unfortunately I don't know what 700 years in dragon time translated to for human years.
It's like the blink of an eye, dude.
Right, yeah, maybe some mage out there will figure it out for us. But of particular importance in Strixhaven is the Biblioplex, the library that's located in the central heart of Strixhaven. And if you ever get lost and you don't know where to find it, all you need to do is look up and follow the torches of enlightenment that will take you directly there.
Okay, usually I use my Maps app, but this seems a little smarter.
Yeah. So the Biblioplex is incredible. It's full of vast spaces and all sorts of unique studying opportunities, and is said to hold every single spell in the multiverse.
Wait, every single spell?
Every single one. Do you want to count them, Jimmy?
Okay, yeah. I'll see you in about 10 years.
So it's also home to the thing called the Mystical Archive, which holds Magic's most powerful spells.
Okay, that sounds really cool. I love the idea of mages coming from all around. As a commander player, you just told me that there are legendary dragons, which is pretty much the origin of that format.
That's fun.
Absolutely.
Sideshow.
So
Pay attention.
The Mystical Archive is something that is unique to Strixhaven, and it's a curated list of 63 of the most recognizable instants and sorceries from Magic's history. So here comes the fun bit. You'll always get an archive in each draft booster, and one in each set booster. And in collector boosters, the Mystical Archive cards feature a new foil etched treatment.
Ooh.
So, in addition
At this point,
to
we've
your
got
at least
graphics
one
for what
traditional
cards
foil
come in what
Mystical
boosters.
Archive, you also get 2 foil etched Mystical Archive cards.
One in every single booster pack? Okay, that's a lot of bling here. Can we, in the audience here, take a look at some of them, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's check out Duress,
Oh,
Lightning Bolt, and Time Warp.
yeah, dude.
Goodness,
Warp?
look
Are you
at that
fucking kidding
art,
me?
the new
Yeah,
frame.
dude.
This is really cool.
I'm
I
gonna
think
turn
it's
down the
really
stream a little bit so we can just react to
power
these
of
right
cards.
here.
Also, it
I'm not
has
gonna
this really
pause the chat,
collaborative-esque
but
feeling to them, right?
I don't need to
sure.
hear them
One
talk
of
about these spells. These are
particular cards
awesome.
to feel like they were inscribed
So Duress
in
and
the
Lightning Bolt I
tomes that
expect,
you would
but
find
Time
in
Warp
the
is a big,
themselves.
that's a big,
So, if you
big
think
shift.
this is
That's
cool,
nuts.
That's not all that's going to be included. So included in that is a Japanese exclusive
All right,
variant.
let's see 'em.
And these variants to the Mystical Archive have beautiful
Oh my
special
God.
alt art treatments and only exist in Japanese.
I'm just blown away by this. These look beautiful.
Oh, that's so good to hear. You can get these in
Oh my
Japanese
God.
set and draft boosters.
I love that
and
art.
in all language collector boosters. But the alt art will always be in the Japanese language. And yes, you heard it correctly. The Mystical Archive marks the return of foil-etched cards. Each Mystical Archive card, both global and Japanese variants, will come in standard, foil, and foil-etched. So with the foil-etched being exclusive to collector boosters. So I know that's all awesome, but I also know it's a lot of stuff.
I like that they're
So
kind of
you
making
get all
fun of
that-
themselves about
Let me check.
these
the
cards
notes I
come
did
in
not
these
take.
packs, but this
Okay,
treatment comes in this
shiny
pack.
and pretty. I want them. Yep, that's about it. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty and shiny. That essentially just wraps it all up in a nice little bow.
Yeah, seriously, right? This looks amazing. Thank you again, Taylor, so much for giving us
Oh,
this
yeah.
backstory of Strixhaven.
Yeah, absolutely. It was absolutely my pleasure, Jimmy. I'm so happy to help.
Did you? Hey, who threw that? Did you see that?
I did not.
Well, it looks like we have some troublemakers in class today, but I have a door to get to, and I will not let them distract me. So thank you again, Taylor. We'll see you around. I gotta get going.
See you, Jimmy.
Now, we know that going to college is one of the most important steps in any young mage's life, and at Strixhaven, we are here for you every step of the way. From financial aid to career services, spell insurance, protection against mana flood, We will guide you through the entire enrollment process.
Going to college means learning new things, and I can't tell you just how
Mechanics
excited
time.
I am to learn about the new mechanics from Strixhaven. And to help me do so, we got just the man for it, Mike Turian. Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's up, Jimmy? How's the school tour going?
Pretty good. It's a lot
I'm
of
hoping
fun
we get
so
to see
far.
some of the
I'm
edged
looking
foil
into
on
the
like
school.
Twitter
I
today.
might make a
Normally,
decision
sometimes
in
you know,
the
Gavin and
but
team will
first I gotta
tweet
find
out some
about
pictures
mechanics,
of
because that's
what they
gonna
look like
really
in
shape my
hand.
decision.
Yeah, well, in addition to the modal DFCs returning, like you saw with Rowan and Will, we have 2 new mechanics we're
I was
introducing
hoping
with
those were gonna be
Strixhaven.
evergreen.
The first of the new mechanics I want to talk about is Magecraft.
Ooh.
Yeah, Magecraft, it's a really great mechanic, and the reason we brought Magecraft into Strixhaven was Strixhaven's a world all about spells, and Magecraft rewards you for casting or copying instants and sorceries. So Magecraft is a great fit.
Yeah, that sounds very fitting, obviously. Lots of mages, lots of spells, and lots of power.
Yeah, exactly. The Magecraft mechanic, it's set up that whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, you get a bonus, like a counter, life gain, extra abilities. Hey, let's take a look at an example. This is Dragon's Guard Elite.
Dragon's Guard Elite, 1 in the green for a 2/2 creature, human druid. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Dragon's Guard Elite. Pay 4 green. Double the number of +1/+1 counters on Dragon's Guard Elite. Very nice. Oh, I'm sure you love seeing a pushed 2-drop, don't you? This is pretty interesting here. We haven't seen the cast or copy text in a while, have we?
Yeah, that's one of the ways we really made Magecraft special is you both get the bonus when you cast the instant or sorcery or when you copy it. So if you happen to be playing a Storm deck, you can get lots and lots of Magecraft triggers.
Hey, don't encourage anyone, Mike.
And Dragon's Guard Elite, it's also the Buy a Box promo for Strixhaven. The promo has an alt art and is in foil with that extended art frame. So early applicants, you should apply at your local game store.
Not a bad
Seems
idea.
good for standard.
So the Dragon's Guard Elite's
Yeah, it's fine.
really awesome, but let's check out another example of Magecraft. This is Archmage Emeritus.
Archmage Emeritus.
Yeah, here
2
we go.
blue for a 2/2 creature, human wizard. Magecraft. Whenever you
That's what I'm
cast
talking
or
about right
copy an
there.
Instant or sorcery spell, draw a card.
And so here, you get to draw more cards. And what are you going to draw when you're getting those Magecraft triggers? Probably more instants and
More
sorceries.
spells.
How about drawing all those cards?
Yeah, this is great, and there's no limit to it, so I guess we really are encouraging people to play Storm these days.
That is
Right, you just
That's gonna be
draw
good
as
in
much as you
Commander.
want. Just make sure to stop before you
Yeah.
draw your whole library.
Good call, good call.
And the Archmage Emeritus has a bundle promo,
Draw a card, man.
which is foil and alt
Exactly.
art also.
Nice. I love these alt arts, especially because, you know, as a commander player, you always want to choose the version
Every
that best
card-
fits your deck and how it looks.
yeah, food time.
Yeah,
So
that-
Magecraft is
that's
literally
exactly it.
just
We
cast a
love
spell, get a thing.
Giving those fun collectible variants, so that way
More
you can
craziness
build a deck
happening
and
during
really
the
bring it
game.
out to make it, special and customized.
Trying to
just
make
for
it more and more
Absolutely.
chaotic and more
And let
stuff
me show
happening,
one,
you know.
one more. This is the Eager First Year.
Eager First Year. 1 in a white for a 2/2 creature, human wizard.
Another great 2-drop. Here, the Eager First Year gets
Jake,
a
I
power
thought for a
bonus
second we were
whenever
gonna
you
get to
cast
see our
an instant
3-1 for
or
2.
sorcery, or copy it.
And it was gonna have
If
Magecraft.
you take a look at that art, that little bobble
see
that's
what kind of
floating
cat
in her hand, as a
has
first year, that's the only
3-1
spell she
for 2
knows. But
in this
I
set.
expect her to level up pretty fast at Strixhaven.
Yeah, I love it when you get to see the limited versions of a new mechanic all the way up to sort of the competitive playable versions in other formats. So that's great to see.
So the second new mechanic we're introducing in Strixhaven also highlights the element of
Yeah, that was
of
just a
school,
comment,
and it's
Bob.
called Learn.
That was not
So
a hose.
the way that Learn
was
works
just
is
a
it
that
pairs
was just
up with
draft
a
card.
lesson card. You take a lesson card from outside the game and put it into your hand.
What?
Or if you want, you can just discard a card and draw a card instead if there's no lesson that's really appealing to you. So let's take a look at the Learn keyword here with the Professor of Symbology.
Professor of Symbology.
Jake,
1
what
in the
the hell
white
is
for a
this?
2/1 creature, core cleric. When Professor of Symbology enters the battlefield, learn. You may reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand, or discard a card
Interesting.
to draw a card.
The professor,
What?
she's teaching her Lorehold students a lesson, and so in this case, we're gonna go and fetch out Pest Summoning.
Pest Summoning. Sorcery. Lesson. Create 2 1/1 black and green pest creature tokens with, when this creature dies, you gain
So I'm
1
guessing
life.
this is
You
just
get a
gonna
nice
be
creature, and then
this is gonna be
you can go and
sideboard,
fetch
right?
and get some
in
1/1s
standard.
that'll give you
Your
a little bit
sideboard will
of
be
a
your
life
outside the
bonus.
game. So
Wow.
Pretty adorable art too, huh?
Yeah. This is really interesting because the
I like the
idea
art on that.
of learning
Yeah, the art is
you're
dope. It's
teaching
got
something to someone and
it
you're
sounds
pulling
cool.
the knowledge
It's got
out of your
the
head, kind of
possibility of
like you're grabbing it from outside
homogenizing
the
games
game,
even
and
further
you put the
because
card in your hand. That's,
all of your
that's
learn
amazing.
spells,
That's
you just
great
go
value.
get your X,
Exactly
you know,
right,
whatever the
Jimmy.
best.
Learn and lesson, of course, Strixhaven
removal
University. It just
lesson
pairs
is,
so
or-
well.
Right.
It's like, hey, you're here to accumulate knowledge, and let's go and find the exact lesson that fits. It's a ton of fun to both draft and play in constructed because there's just that really fun puzzle of, hey, what card do I want to go and get this time?
Right, right.
Let's take a look at a few more lesson and learn cards. Here's Pop Quiz.
Pop quiz. 2 in the blue for an instant. Draw a card. Okay, so pop quiz.
3
This
mana to
person is
draw and
clearly
then learn.
struggling with something here, but they get to draw a card at instant speed and then learn. But let's say you don't have a lesson, then this card just reads draw a card and then discard to draw another card.
That's exactly it. On those rare cases that the lesson that you'd be fetching isn't what you wanted, you can just dig into your deck a little bit more. It's sort of the backup plan because
Interesting.
typically you're going to be having a lesson that you can go and learn for.
Right, absolutely. And then confront the past. X and a black for a sorcery lesson. Choose one. Return target planeswalker
Wow.
card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or remove twice X
Somebody said
loyalty
Gideon might
counters
be
from
in the
target
set. There you
planeswalker
go.
an opponent controls.
Nightmare.
For our
Ghost
fellow
Gideon.
Vorthos players, this is a very significant moment that Liliana seems to be embracing here or looking into the mirror of, and this is just packed with value too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, she's remembering that moment where Gideon reached out and saved her. You can see that there in the art. And then, yes, for those who are actually casting the spell, it does an awful lot, right?
Yeah, I don't think
Nice.
we've seen that sort of direct from graveyard to battlefield individual planeswalker, especially with an X cast in it too. That's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the second part, you know, you can use that to remove one of your opponent's planeswalkers pretty effectively.
Yeah, it's like
So-
two sides of the mirror, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You see that in the art, you see that in the mechanics. We always try to bring fun, resonant mechanics into our worlds, and Learn Lesson really lets us amplify that.
Yeah, that's really neat. I'm super excited for this. I just love being able to do stuff that seems like it's like, wow, of course you should be able to do something like that in Magic. So thanks so much for teaching us about these new mechanics, Mike. I knew I could count on you. Now it's
All
time to
right.
finish our tour.
Interesting.
Hey, Jimmy, it looks like someone hit you there in the arm with a paper
I'm
airplane.
gonna turn that down
you
while
were
we
right
get to the
about
next
that,
section
Mike.
there.
I need to figure
All
out
right, so we're gonna be tutoring for stuff out of our
how to roll
sideboard.
again. I'll see you soon.
I'm guessing
luck,
those
Jimmy.
cards will not be commander legal,
Now the time has come for each and every one of you to
or
choose
at
your
least not
card.
worth running in
Representatives from
commander
each
because
college will
there's
join
no
this
out of the
afternoon.
game in commander.
2018 of
I'm
Westwood
assuming, you know,
Hall.
obviously
Reminder,
rule zero it
Westwood Hall
in,
is
but
located on the northwest corner of the southernmost
it's
Wall.
interesting. That is
They're gonna be
just a
there for
mechanic for constructed as far as I can tell.
Come for the information, stay
Got it.
for the free pizza and fruit punch.
So Jake, it
As
seems
we
like that's
mentioned
just a
earlier,
mechanic for
Strixhaven
constructed is what I was talking to everybody about because you don't have an outside the game in commander.
Is Doug Byer. Hey Doug, how's it going?
Yeah,
Hey
that makes
Jimmy,
sense.
how are you liking Strixhaven so far?
I am loving it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little intimidated. 5 completely different schools, so many details I don't know. Can you tell me a little bit more? I feel like I got a big decision ahead of me.
Oh yeah, you can
You
loot,
sure
Jake.
do.
That's right.
But don't
That's
worry,
true.
there isn't a right or wrong choice here. It's more about finding what best suits your style. So, the 5 colleges of Strixhaven are called Lorehold, Prismari, Quandrix, Silver Quill, and Witherbloom. Each college is associated with an enemy 2-color pair, and they each have their own campus, faculty, magical specialties, identity, logos.
Silver
mascots.
Quill's got the coolest aesthetic.
Okay, wow. this
Black
is
and white
pretty
and gold.
in-depth. It's
Hell
like
yeah.
A real school.
Yeah, each college is unique, and you'll see representations of them throughout the entire set that expresses that identity. You're going to find card cycles that are specific to colleges, and each card that's associated with the college has its own logo watermark, like you see here on Pest Summoning.
That makes
that's cool.
perfect sense. So each college is tied
Bring
to a
back
color
watermarks,
pair,
I like
and they
that.
have their own flavor
I
of
agree.
magic to go along with it.
Yeah, you got it. So there's also 5 commander decks with Strixhaven, and they each align with a college. See, there's an intense rivalry between these colleges, and they get to battle it out with each other in magical duels. It's part of Strixhaven's special sport called Mage Tower.
Wait, well, hold up. You gotta tell me more about Mage Tower. That sounds amazing.
All right, the rules of Mage Tower are simple. There's 2 opposing teams. And they meet in the school's large
get on
stadium
brooms
alongside
and
their
they try to
mascots.
throw.
There's 3
Yeah, you gotta catch a secret. You gotta
mascot
catch a
sits
snitch.
on top of that giant mage tower, and then the goal.
2 guys
is
are
to
just
steal
trying to
the
beat
team's
other people
mascot
up.
and transport it over to your side. The thing is, all magic is legal, except any magic that would physically harm a player or
Oh, that's
a
cool.
mascot
All
or
magic
somebody
is
in the
legal. I like
stands
that.
or the stadium.
Yeah.
But other than that, so each phase is 20 minutes long, and then a winner is declared.
Wow, I love that. I mean, that's like, why don't we just change all Friday Night Magic just to be Mage Tower instead?
That's right. We're going for that classic feeling of like school pride and classmate camaraderie.
Okay, well, with all this information, I am definitely ready to sign up, but I still have to figure out which college matches me the best, so let's go through them.
Sure thing. I've actually got a few videos for you to check out. Let's start with Lorehold.
Lorehold is the college comprised of diligent researchers and daring adventurers, passionate scholars obsessed with
Love
history,
the art.
who explore the
Oh, yeah.
past by poring over archaeological
Yeah,
artifacts.
so far the
and
aesthetic
summoning
of this set
long-dead
overall is
spirits.
really cool.
For some students, the past is a rich tapestry worthy of disciplined study, while others wear that tapestry like a cap as they jump down into a forgotten tomb. Lorehold, leave no stone
All right.
unturned.
Lorehold is Indiana
All right,
Jones.
I'm in.
Oh my
Daring
God.
Adventures, archaeologists.
Ninja, you
Reminds me a
said
bit
that.
of another famous
then
professor
he was
I
just like
know. But
this.
you know what? Sign me up for Lorehold.
Okay, hold on. Don't you want to hear a little bit more about Lorehold first?
Yes, that's probably a good idea. I am very impressionable. So what else can you tell me?
All right, so Lorehold is the College of Archaeomancy. It's represented by the colors red and white, and its mascots, the spirits. So here, let's take a look at some cards to give you a better sense of the college. First up, Lorehold Apprentice.
Wow, very nice. It almost looks like she is playing with a saga here in front of us. That's great. I love that
Is it
art.
creatures
Yeah,
you
the
control or
Lorehold
spirit
use their
creatures you
magic to
control?
bring
I
history
missed
literally
it.
to life. So they summon ancient figures from the past and bring them into the present. So next, we have some awesome artwork for
think
you
it
to
said
check
spirit.
out. This one for the legendary creature Velomachus Lorehold. Velomachus is the dragon founder of Lorehold
Oh,
College.
hell yes.
All the dragon founders,
They are gonna
including
put the dragon
Velomachus,
founders in
come
this.
in their standard frame and an alt art borderless version.
Elder Dragons.
Borderless version is great. Actually reminds me of a bit of
Found-
older Magic,
founded
while
the colleges.
standard one reminds me of newer Magic. So that's awesome.
And in both his designs, you can
It's a
see those
Rathalos.
scrolls that are hanging down from his body. That's an indication of the lore that he's literally holding in his body.
Oh, very
Yeah,
thematic.
so
I
I'm
like
curious.
it.
Is this
And
just going
I
to be
can show you the
two-color?
commander for the Lorehold Strixhaven deck. This is
Oh,
Osgir
God.
the Reconstructor.
Oscar the Reconstructor. Okay, this is what I'm talking about here. I love that.
I'm pausing this for a second. Pay 1, sack an artifact. Target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. X, tap it. Exile an artifact card with mana value X from your graveyard. Create 2 tokens that are copies of the exile card. Activate. Oh, wow, and they just stay. Activate only as a sorcery.
Not bad.
Interesting. 2 Jeweled Lotuses after you use your Jeweled Lotus, everyone.
That Boros is getting more value-based tactics and having it be artifact-based in a
Yeah, that's
archaeology
interesting.
type school. This is perfect. I love it.
I don't know what you mean by what's this is Lorehold.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Lorehold. Many apologies, Doug. Well, I love what I see so far, but you're right. I should get some information about the other schools before I make a
That's
decision.
pretty cool.
So, what are we going to hear about next?
All right, next up is Prismari.
Prismari are the art club members
This
of
is where
Strixhaven,
Jake and I went to school.
and magic is how they express themselves. Their spells can be spectacles of raw creativity or meticulous artistic expressions.
That's Jake.
All the world's a stage.
That's Joel, the little
Whether their
owl.
art is informed by mind or emotion, Prismari always leave a lasting impression. Prismari, express yourself with the elements.
Oh, Prismari, here I come. You know deep inside I am a theater kid.
I know you have a flair for the dramatic, Jimmy. So Prismari might be for you. They are the College
We
of
actually
Elemental
had
Arts.
this one
Represented by
kid that would
colors red
always
and blue,
twirl fire
along with their mascot, the
at our-
Elementals.
at
Oh,
our
yeah.
parties.
Some Prismari
Yeah.
cards here. The first
The
up
rave
here
kids.
is Prismari Apprentice.
Wow, I love the art on this. You clearly see this mage controlling the red and blue sides of the school.
We really wanted to show off the opposites that are built into the enemy color combinations in Strixhaven, and Prismari especially has this like fire and ice combination going on.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And then we have the Stormkiln Artist.
Hey, I was wondering if dwarves were going to be showing up on this plane, and it looks like I have my answer here. Not to mention treasure tokens, one of my favorite mechanics in Magic.
Treasure tokens kind of represent the artistic creations of the Prismari. That's kind of a physical manifestation of their magic. And here is the dragon founder of this college, Galazeth Prismari.
You would call this a very epic pose. The red and blue colors here just really pull out what's happening in the middle of the art.
All the colleges are based around the magical
its
ethos
brother or
of their
something.
founder dragon, and Galazeth Prismari
Oh, no,
has
no,
a flair
I'm
for
just-
the dramatic.
He also has a flair
looks
for
like
the, kind of intimidating with the borderless art, which I love seeing.
Oh, jeez.
Space Dragon. And lastly, the commander for the Prismari Strixhaven
Here we go.
deck,
I'm gonna pause on
Zafai,
this.
Thunder Conductor.
Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, you scry 1. That spell's mana value is 5 or greater. Create a 4/4. If it's 10 or greater, it deals 10 to an opponent chosen at random. Weird. Big spell tribal. Big MV tribal. I'm never going to get used to saying MV.
This
That's
is
not
so,
going to be a thing.
it's so brutal. I just have these people talking in the background while you pause this, and whenever you unpause it, it's just wherever it is
Oh, sorry.
in the stream.
And the red is coming out of
Because
the
I
board.
just can't
That's
hear
like
it.
a
I just
great
can't
detail
hear it.
there.
Yeah, I'm not
call
sure
that
why the
double
sound is
major.
not coming through.
I don't know.
Now, before you make up your mind again, we still got 3 more colleges to look at. So
I mean,
let's
it's
check
alright.
out
I'm just playing
Quandrix.
it in the background. I have no idea where it is on the stream. I just hear words like
Quandrix
and-
mages
We
are
just got the
genius
Quandrix.
math magicians.
Oh no, they're on like.
They study patterns, fractals,
way
and
ahead.
symmetries
It's okay.
to command power over the fundamental forces of nature.
You can scrub on
They'll
that
solve
stream,
a
Jake.
Rubik's Cube while proving that Dullard-Div-Mizit's second theorem completely wrong. Quandrix. Math is magic.
The commander for this one's going to be like, draw 2 cards, put 2 lands from your hand onto the battlefield, search for a card, slap your opponent.
Because I love math.
4 mana.
Not hard math.
right,
math
exactly.
for blockers, infinite combos, all that good stuff. So do you think I'm ready for Quandrix?
Well, they do have a dragon. And Quandrix is the College of Numeromancy, represented by the colors blue and green, and their mascot, the Fractals, as you'll see here with Quandrix Apprentice.
Oh, very nice.
Quandrix
The search for
Apprentice.
knowledge. You can really feel the mages at the school learning and studying and then turning that into magic cards. That's a lot of fun.
Right, the Quandrix are studying to uncover the numbers underneath reality. And let's take a look at the dragon founder of this college. Here's the art of Tanazir Quandrix.
Oh,
Whoa, this is gorgeous. And I love the little Easter egg in the middle here, which is an impossible shape, but because
That's
magic
really
is filled
badass
with
art.
art, you
I
can
love that.
draw these
Yeah.
figures. And it's great
Looks
to
like a
look at because I
legendary
think that's like a
Pokemon.
perfect example of what Quandrix is about, right? Like, it shouldn't work, but it clearly does.
Yeah, use optical illusions and these, like you said, impossible polygons to kind of get across that they are hacking at the very nature of reality itself.
It seems pretty powerful. To be expected of anything with the color blue, after all. And then the borderless art as well. I love when you include these like really strong lines on top of the dragon and underneath it. It just gives it such a dynamic feel.
It's almost a diagram of a dragon. And we get to see another commander, this time for the Quandrix Strixhaven deck.
Check out Adrix and Neve, twin casters.
Ward. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays 2. Oh, ward is a new keyword. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice of that. Oh my god, it's a commander doubling season. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. Wow. Wow.
Very exciting as a
pretty
Queen
good.
player myself. Also, it looks like we might have a little bit of a tease here for a new keyword mechanic that will be in the
Reminds me of
commander deck.
Riku a little
that's
bit.
really cool.
Yeah.
Guys, get excited.
Now, this is a new ability to help protect your most valuable creatures.
That makes sense too, right? You can't attack us unless you're paying more mana.
That guy's certified.
Seems
I'm
like
pretty
they
sure these
outsmarted
are
you, or they're able to dodge
in the
whatever
commander
you're
decks.
doing, and you have to pay a tax on top of
That won't be a chase
Wow.
card.
Okay, well the choice of colleges, it just seems to be getting harder and harder, and we still have 2 more to go.
That's right. And next up, we have the College of Silverquill.
Silverquills wield the magic of words, from inspiring battle poetry to biting arcane insults. Stylish, intimidating, and tirelessly competitive, these mages are born leaders with a razor-sharp wit and natural charisma that can be used for good or for ill. Silverquill, sharp style.
Those kids would have
sharper
intimidated
wit.
me in college. I would have been like, they party, but man, they freak me out.
You know, I do love giving speeches, and I've been known to bust a rhyme or 2 out in my day. I might just be a Silverquill man.
Well, yes. So Silverquill is the College of Eloquence.
Eminem's the Silverquill.
They're represented by the colors black and white.
Think about
And
that.
their mascot is a creature called the Inklings. check out Silverquill Apprentice.
Wow, this is some pretty cool art here. It definitely has this whole vibe and feel to it. I also love that people are watching it happen, which feels very Silverquill.
Silverquill love an audience. They are about performance and turning that performance into their magic.
Ooh, this may be the place for me.
And we have another dragon founder. Let's look at the art of Shadrix Silverquill.
Wow.
Are they?
You know what I really love about this
Witherbloom
piece?
for you?
Silverquill. We're looking at the dragon from Silverquill.
Painting the landscape with that dark.
If you're on
sort
YouTube,
of
you can
misty
scrub
color.
that backwards.
Yeah, that's kind of the expression of the light and darkness of Silverquill and the
No,
this
I'm on Twitch.
flowing
Isn't that where
magical
they're
ink
doing this
that's
whole thing?
through a lot of their magic.
Oh, it's on both.
That's awesome. And then this borderless art is
Rip.
something I would 100% just hang up on my
Rip
wall.
my
It's
sound this
great.
video.
I love
Rip
how
my
it starts
ability to
really bright at the top and just has the full
be part
spectrum
of
of
this.
white and black.
It's okay.
Turns out that artists get really excited when we tell them this is a study in ink, which is a medium you already use.
Yeah, no kidding. And it just brings out, it evokes an entirely different mood. So that's great. Silverquill really feels really unique in that fashion.
And yes, we do have another commander. This is Brina the Demagogue, the commander.
Brina the Demagogue. 1 black, 1 white, 1 other for a flying, 1/3. Whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, if that opponent has more life than oh my god, okay. Whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, if that opponent has more life than another of your opponents, that attacking player draws a card, and you put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. Oh man, if that opponent has more life than another of your opponents, the attacking player draws a card, and you put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. All right.
For the Silverquill Strixhaven deck.
Again, commanding an audience, and amazing too, because it really feels in flavor when your opponents are attacking each other. You're the one that gets a benefit off of it too.
Cool bird.
Brina is an Aven. I think this is the first time in Magic we have a bird warlock as its typeline.
Really?
Bird
Okay,
Warlock.
perfect. Okay, well, just one more college to go, then I can
Yeah,
finally
that wasn't
make my
even the
decision,
math
right?
is hard, Alt MTG.
Yes, and the last college
I couldn't
is
keep up with the
Witherbloom.
wording on that regardless.
Witherblooms are the goth biomagers of Strixhaven. They draw power from the essence of living beings, whether that means enhancing nature
Look at that
or
bear.
exploiting it. Witherbloom mages are most at home riding zombie crocs, picking herbs for potions, and hanging out in their swamp, making grim jokes. Witherbloom, get
All right,
your hands dirty.
What card are they on right now? I'm
Wither-
trying to find it in the stream.
We were just introduced to Witherbloom.
Well, 5th time's the
We're
charm,
about to see
they
Witherbloom
say.
Apprentice,
I do love the
I would
outdoors,
assume.
and I don't mind getting my hands a little dirty. What
Yeah,
else
he
is there to know?
definitely said goth
Well,
MTG means magic.
Witherbloom are the College of Essence Studies, represented by the colors green and black, and their mascots, the pests. Let's look at Witherbloom Apprentice.
Okay, this art is fantastic, and I love how you literally can see and feel the effects of both parts of the name, wither and bloom, right there in the art.
These are kind of the pre-med of Strixhaven, and this is why you go pre-med, right? Is the power over life and death.
Right, yeah, and to just be able to mix stuff together and see what happens.
Yeah, card
And
shop.
let's
We're
look
going to
at
be a
the
little bit
art of
behind
the Final Dragon founder, Belladros
because we're going to
Witherbloom.
pause on some of these cards
Okay,
and look at
this
them.
is a nefarious looking
God,
founder
look at
here,
the teeth.
and
What the hell is
if I
going
had to
on?
guess 2 colors, black and green seems perfect.
Yeah, we really played up the internal lighting in the environment and in the dragon, Belladros Witherbloom.
Yeah, and I love how you can really see more details in the borderless art of whatever's hanging out inside those trees, that glowing stuff. It just makes me feel like there's a project or something going on inside.
Those are
Slytherin.
actually classrooms for
Yeah.
the Witherbloom College.
Oh, awesome. Oh man, this is making the choice even harder.
And I have one last commander to show you. This is Willow Dusk, Essence Seer. She's the commander for
Pay 1, tap, choose another target creature, put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of life you gained or the amount of life you lost this turn, whichever is greater. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, so it's a little less broken than it sounded at first because it is only sorcery speed. But yeah, life gain, life drain deck.
the Witherbloom Strixhaven deck.
Not bad.
Again, I have to give
What card are
kudos
we
to
on?
the art
Willow
here.
Dusk,
I love
Essence
just
Seer.
this sort of magic that's coming
Okay, let me
out
switch
of
over
the
from their
ground, the
stream
earth,
back
alchemy,
to
everything
our
that's going on
stream.
here just feels perfectly black-green.
She's very witchy.
Okay, yeah,
These
cool.
are our kind of biogoths of the university. So they are using magic over death, and life.
Okay, well,
Yeah, it'd be great
we
if it
saw
was
all
instant
5. I
speed, so
thought the
you could
choice
attack
would
with a
be
bunch of
easier. Turns
attackers
out
and then
it's even harder
instant
than
speed
before.
grow
I'm
that power
officially
like
stumped.
crazy.
Is there anything else I should
whichever
look
one's
at
gonna
before I consider
connect.
my final decision?
Well, you could also check out the cycle of dual lands.
Check out the new lands. Each of these lands tap
What part are we at now?
The lands. As it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a mountain or plains card from your hand. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. Oh, so these are really good. Enemy colors. You may reveal a basic of the type. It doesn't say basic. It's a plains or swamp card. So it's not looking for basics. It's looking for cards of the type.
Enters the battlefield. You may reveal an island or mountain card from your hand. If you don't, enters the battlefield tap.
Seems pretty good. They seem strong. Especially if the modifiers are there.
tap for 2 colors of mana. And if you meet the requirements on the card,
Yeah, you can't
then they enter
fetch
the
these up,
battlefield
unfortunately. They are just
5 colleges
lands,
are
but
also represented here on the
that is
snarls.
relevant.
Oh, amazing. Yes. And each of these, again, like all of the art of the schools I love so much because it really brings out the color pairings. And you can see it right here in the lands as well.
The snarls are places where 2 opposing forces of mana come together and swirl in this gnashing pattern like this.
That's great. I love the word snarl too. Well, Doug, I've got a lot to think about, so I think I actually just need a little bit more time before I sign on to one of these colleges.
That's totally understandable.
Nice.
Oh, but before we go, something really cool I wanted to announce. Magic the Gathering is teaming up with Rock Love Jewelry. In celebration of Magic fans everywhere, Rock Love Jewelry is coming out with a special Magic-inspired jewelry line, and it's coming out April 15th at 9 a.m. If you want to see the full set, make sure you visit their website, because you don't want to miss out.
MTG
Those are
jewelry.
really nice.
Yeah, I really like this one. Okay, someone is seriously messing with me, Doug. I need to go figure this out. Thank you so much for giving me all the deets.
Good luck, Jimmy.
Thanks.
All right, what do we
All
got
right,
next?
everyone, that wraps up our Strixhaven tour. Sean, what are you doing here?
Hey, Jimmy. I was just working on my application to Strixhaven. And look, come here. I have a request. I'm wondering if you can write for me a letter of recommendation.
1, okay, sure, I'd love to. But 2, paper airplane, Sean, come on, man.
Yeah, well, I mean,
A little
what'd you
bit of
expect?
improv. for
Yeah,
that
you're right. Well, look,
okay.
now that you're here, you may as well tell them about the launch of Arena on mobile.
Jimmy, I would be delighted to. It is my pleasure to announce that the wait for Magic the Gathering Arena on
I like
mobile
day
is
9.
finally over. Starting today, they'll be rolling out on all sorts of supported iOS and Android phones and tablets.
Ooh, all right, so that means I can rep my college on my phone now.
Indeed you can, Jimmy. You can pre-order and play Strixhaven on PC, mobile, whatever you like. And if you log on to mobile between now and
Moon,
April 30th,
thank you for the super
you can
chat.
get a cool
Thank
free
you.
Thopter pad.
Ooh, that is so exciting. I can't
Thank
wait
you
to
for that
play
super chat.
Arena on
We
mobile.
really appreciate you spending your time with us this week.
more.
Okay, yeah, what's that?
I am pleased to announce that coming up right now is the world premiere for the Magic the Gathering Arena mobile launch video, which stars, guess who? It's literally me, Jimmy.
Perfect. Well, I can't wait to check it out.
He does.
Let's see it.
He does goofy, cringy, very funny.
Sean, just slow down. You gotta let the game come to you.
No, you gotta attack, man. You got him on the ropes. Right now. You gotta.
Thank
what?
you.
What?
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
It's almost like Zen. Relax.
You gotta channel your anger. You turn it into rage and violence.
Danny, where did you come from?
Boring clicks. That's what you should add to your deck for the late game.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Just save cards for the late game. None of this would be happening if you would just use a Torbran Red aggro deck.
Guys, seriously, stop eating my cereal.
Oh, wait, that's you?
I like that he has all of his food labeled.
I would like to proudly present.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Come on. Yeah. I give you the chore wheel. Oh, come on.
I made that.
Look at that. See, this way we can keep track of things that are going on in the house. Okay, let's see what's going to be. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be?
Sean, wash the dishes.
Yeah, but Tuesday.
But I'm the only name on here.
The chore wheel has spoken. Whoa!
Okay.
Hey, I found these under my bed. Might want to let them soak.
Okay.
Hey, Sean. Turn 2, old growth troll. Turn 5,
related.
victory. That's what happens when you play aggressive. Oh, dude, let these soak. Let's go play a game.
That's a great idea. I'm gonna let these soak.
No,
I want to see.
no.
There's not going to be a teaser
With Magic
at
the
the end, I
Gathering
bet.
Arena on mobile, you can play Arena wherever you go, whether it's at home or if you're heading out for some peace and quiet. Arena's the perfect game to keep in your pocket and play anywhere.
He can't play in the house. He's not allowed in the house.
Become the game. The goblin will not hurt you.
It's hurting my feelings.
Yes! This is so awesome. I finally get to play Arena on my phone.
All right.
Yeah, and hey, I think that just about wraps it up here. Look, if you're still having trouble deciding what college you want to go to, stick around because next week, it's recruitment week. We're going to have tons of special guests. You can figure out what college you're going to join. And of course, we got some special stuff coming up for pre-release weekend as well. All right, everyone, thanks so much, and we will
see you next time.
Sean, that's my line.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm just trying to help.
Okay, all right. All right, thanks, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Next time.
Yeah, all right. That was pretty good.
Jimmy, you're so good at those
Oh,
outros.
stop.
How did you do that?
How did you throw all those paper airplanes?
Oh, I don't know. I need an outlet for my creativity. It's kinetic art.
Will there be a teaser at the end? I bet not. COVID-19. I better not say that. We might get demonetized. All right. So no teaser of if there's a Praetor on this plane or not. I think our unique frame in this one to us is going to be the Mystical Archive.
Yeah.
So we saw some interesting stuff. Let's go through some of these cards that we've seen real quick. Want to go through those Mystical Archive ones as well. New Planeswalkers here, Rowan Scholar and Will Scholar. The Rowan side is 3 mana for a 2 loyalty Rowan. Instant and sorceries you cast cost 1 less to cast. Plus or up, deals a damage to each opponent, and if you've drawn 3 or more cards this turn, she deals 3 to each opponent instead. And her -4, you get an emblem with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you may pay 2 if you do copy it. And then Scholar of Frost side, 5 mana for Will. He also makes instants and sorceries cost 1 less. You can plus him up. Well, up to 1 target creature has base power and toughness 0-2 until your next turn. Jake, that's a nice little protection advantage built into that. Not a blocking.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So I see what we're doing. All right.
We
are on the cards. Got it.
Not a blocking creature, but, you know, turns a creature into nothing, basically. -3 him as soon as he comes in to just straight up draw 2 cards. And then his -7, exile up to 5 target permanents. For each permanent exiled this way, its controller gets a 4/4. Huh. That's not as strong as I would want it to be. Give them 20 attacking power, even if you're exiling target permanents. Interesting.
Well, I think you can do it. You could do it to yourself, right? So.
Oh yeah, you absolutely can.
Yeah, so you could just do it to your lands if you need to convert into a bunch of power and just get some board presence, or, you know, take out whatever their 2 peskiest things are and then do it to like 3 of your things. That way you have some good power as well. Yeah, I think there's some versatility there. I think there's some options. I like it.
I think I prefer the Rowan side. dealing that damage, I would though, right? Aggressive mage, I definitely would.
Yeah.
So we saw Duress, Lightning Bolt, and Time Warp here. This art for Duress is so fantastic. This art is actually kind of killing it across the board.
The Lightning Bolt I'm trying to put together. I mean, it's cool. It says Lightning Bolt. I just don't see the Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, I think it's like this mage in the middle of a storm. And it's right at the point of summoning the lightning. You can kind of see it around here, right here.
Mm-hmm. Like the duress is like dead on, right?
Right.
It's like you have these hands that have kind of come into this this person's head, and they're taking out a little thought. They're taking it like right out. This is really neat.
Oh, I like
the time warp. That's cool too.
You could take the perspective, Jake, that you are in the middle of the lightning bolt that has been shot. So this is from the perspective of the recipient of the lightning bolt. And so,
oh yeah, I could see that. That's kind of cool.
You can really see his energy around you. Yeah, we got the time warp as well.
Time warp is a pretty cool inclusion. This is a card that isn't super expensive, but it's not cheap, and that's a pretty big hit. I was expecting a lot more stuff like Lightning Bolt and Duress. I do see now that they've upshifted Lightning Bolt to rare. I think that's the first time that has ever been done in the history of MTG.
Duress up to uncommon too.
Yeah. So I was expecting a lot of stuff like Duress. I still think we're going to see stuff like Electrolyze, Mortify, Putrefy,
right?
All that kind of stuff that would kind of coincide with the schools and the colleges. But yeah, you know, when we know that Demonic Tutor is in this and now Time Warp, I'm wondering what are the other mythics going to be?
Time Warp I'm seeing is about between 15 and 18, depending on which version you're getting.
Yeah.
The oldest one for reference is $22. The Tempest one. There's a Judge gift card version of it for 134.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's decent.
You know, I do think though that this is a really interesting thing, and we should talk about this on the stream, is we should talk about how widely desirable these Japanese alternate art cards are going to be and what that means for English boxes versus this product. And this is the first time where you're going to be able to get this Japanese card in English products. So I think they're kind of catering to the people that want to be able to read their cards, but also want the extremely exclusive thing. Worth noting that you can pull a Japanese mystical archive card in any language collector booster. Right. And that's kind of what we're talking about here is that, you know, these are going to be in collector boosters,
right? But
really people are going to want those Japanese booster boxes because that's going to be where you can find these alternate art cards if you're not paying for, you know, collector boosters, which are clearly going to be a premium. And I also have some information here because I was talking to one of our patrons last night. I did a little phone call actually, and she was letting me know that she's been scouring like crazy trying to find Japanese collector boosters, and they're just there. She can't find them anywhere. So she's thinking that they're only going to be in Japan, or that there's going to be like some sort of shipment that pops up after all the boxes have already been opened or something. But very hard to find those Japanese collector boosters on pre-sale. I imagine we're going to see them start popping up, but they're probably only going to be in Japan is my understanding, at least in the beginning. So expect these to be very exclusive. I do think that there's going to be some incredible reveals. I mean, Lightning Bolt is such a good choice. Duress such a good choice.
Right. And that's kind of where we expect them to live, right? The most iconic spells. Like, I mean, you know, I could still see us getting ostracized and stuff.
Yeah.
Just to double back on that. Let me scroll down here. So we saw the Mystical Archives. This was our buy a box promo. Grower push 2-drop. It's okay in my analysis here. It looks kind of like a standard card for sure.
It kind of comes to the question of like how often, like you're not going to want to just pump this one green card in with a bunch of spells, right? You're going to want to have other creatures in there. So how often are you going to proc that ability where it's really going to be super relevant? I mean, if you're playing it alongside stuff like, for example, like Growth Spiral or any of that kind of stuff, like counter spells, I could see maybe this being in that historic deck that plays all the flash stuff, and you play against that wolf that they flash in, and then at the end of turn, if they didn't cast a spell on your turn, I could see this being like the 2-drop in that deck, alongside the Merfolk that flashes in. But,
a place where it's just gonna give residual value, right? It just sits there and it grows. That's not the game plan, but it is a game plan. And then by the end of the game,
about it is it does have a mana sink that allows it to get very big later in the game if you have nothing to do with the mana.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, the biggest thing missing from this is the word trample. That's really it. That's really it.
I mean, if it does have trample, then it does kind of become a build around, right? I mean, you can essentially just sit there, wait for it to get really out of hand, and then just swing for the fences. But
yeah, 100%. This one I think is the best use of Magecraft I've seen so far, at least from the commander perspective. I mean, this is a really good commander card. Really good commander card.
Magic the Casual, thanks for hanging out.
A 4-mana enchantment on a stick that says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, draw a card. Not to mention any of your copies.
Yeah, it's very brutal. It's extremely good.
Yeah. I think I like that. Die's easy, obviously, but it's still going to get you a lot of value. This is our learn mechanic. You can reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand, or discard a card to draw a card. So you can either loot, or you can go into your sideboard and pull out these lessons, which is a new subtype of spell. Pest summoning, create 2/1/1 black and green pest creature tokens with when this dies you gain a life.
Yeah, I mean that's velocity, right? I mean that's what we're looking for. If you're able to play a 2/1 and then go tutor a card, even if it's something as honestly unimpressive as what pet summoning is, I'm not super impressed by that card. It's 3 mana to create 2/1/1s, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but you're paying 2 mana here to get a 2/1. You're getting 2 power on the board, and then you get to go tutor a card. So it replaces itself. I mean,
this is the kind of mechanic.
I don't hate it.
No, I know what you're getting at too. This is the kind of mechanic, Jake, that feels a lot like Thriving Inspector to me, where the best version of this mechanic is going to be the 1-drop common that lets you learn and is also a 1/1 or whatever. That's going to be the most constructed use of this, because
I wonder if they do that though, because I think that's just honestly way too good. Being able to play a 1-drop that tutors when it comes in, that just seems like way too push.
Card advantage.
Like this would have to be. Yeah. I mean, you're getting, unless it's like a 0/1 defender or something like that, it would need to be really, really poopy. Like, at least with Thraben Inspector, you have to sink some mana in to use the
draw card
clue that it creates, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you do have to use the mana to cast whatever spell you tutor up, but there's a lot of difference between sacrificing a clue to draw a card and tutoring up a specific card that you're looking for. So I think it actually really depends on what lessons they print, right?
Yeah,
like
for
what
sure.
are the lessons that you can include in your deck that are going to be relevant?
Here's a rare lesson that we got to see. X spell in black, return target planeswalker card with a mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So for 7, you're returning any of the dope 6-cost walkers, just for a reference point, and then remove twice X loyalty counters from target planeswalker and opponent controls. So 3 mana, this kills a walker with 4 or fewer loyalty counters on it. That's pretty sick.
So that right there is probably going to be the way this is going to work out in my mind is you're going to have a lot of toolbox decks pop up, right?
Yep.
You're going to have a lot of people that are going to be running one Confront the Pest in their deck because they know that they can tutor it up if they're playing against a planeswalker type situation, or they might have one more on the sideboard that they can bring in certain situations. And it's not like Birthing Pod, but in a lot of the ways, it is, in my opinion, kind of like Pod, because with Pod, you're just playing a bunch of creatures, right? And you're sacrificing them to go find other toolbox effects.
Right.
Like Birthing Pod decks would have like one Manic Vandal in them back when that card was huge in Standard.
100%.
Just because, yeah, just go grab whatever you need and... Yeah.
So Lesson does grab the card from outside the game. It doesn't tutor it out of your deck. So mostly
it's outside the game. My bad.
Yeah. So mostly what I think this is going to do. So I try to imagine when they make choices like this with design, I try to imagine this from the perspective of the designer and like what was the inciting thought to get something like this going. And I feel like they were probably exploring design space and being like, okay, what do we not use a lot? The sideboard. How can we really make sideboards part of the game, like a bag of books? Honestly, you run around campus with your book bag. That's your sideboard, and you can reach in there and pull out a lesson and use that spell. And so I feel like it seems like they want to play more with the sideboard. They've already with the dual modal phase cards, which thank goodness they're bringing those back. I think those should be in the game forever and ever. Amen. They've tried to make games fewer non-games, right? I think that's what I said the first time we reviewed modal DFCs. Fewer non-games. Everybody wants to play. Nobody likes to sit there and not do anything. So I think that it's another good step in that direction. Will it homogenize MTG too much? I'm not sure. You don't want every single game. Let's say that Pest Summoning here was like a bomb mythic.
Yeah.
Instead of just a fine common. I don't want to every single game be like, oh, well, if this is the lesson deck, they're going to go get Pest Summoning because Pest Summoning wins the game. And every single game, they definitely see Pest Summoning versus a little bit more of the randomness of MTG. But, maybe in the long run, that's a good thing for the game. I'm not sure. So here are the commanders. We can review these real quick here before we call it quits to the stream, everybody. By the way, thanks for hanging out. We really appreciate it. We want to go through these commanders before we call it a day here. We've got another stream later tonight. Jake has got night 2 of our Time Spiral Remastered foil quest, where we are seeking out old border foils. We didn't say that enough in our review of the set, so we wanted to bring it into streams. But we really appreciate all the support, everybody. If you would like to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. For real, it helps us out. I know I say that in all our videos.
Yeah, best way to support the channel. And again, if you want to be involved with the channel on a deeper level, head on over to Patreon, where there are giveaways. We have one coming up at the beginning of April.
Yep.
There are your names in every video. You get Discord access. We send you a signed 2-headed giant. Yeah, come be a part of the community if you want to. We've still got a ton of people watching, so we really do appreciate y'all hanging out today. Yeah, man, this has been a blast.
Yeah, I'm looking at I'm being told that over on Mythic Spoiler we've got even more cards. I'm not seeing anything on Mythic Spoiler there. Fuzz. Anyway, Osgir the Reconstructor, Vigi 4/4 for 4, pay 1, sack an artifact, creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn instant speed, and then you can X to exile an artifact with mana value X or graveyard from your graveyard. Oh, it's exactly. With mana value X from your graveyard, create 2 tokens that are copies of the exiled card. Activate only as a sorcery. So, I mean, this is fantastic in a Boros equipment deck where, they finally destroy whatever equipment was giving them trouble, and he can just bring back 2 copies of it. Lightning Greaves × 2. I really like that. And like I said during the stream, using your Jeweled Lotus to ramp him out there as quickly as possible. Turn 1. And then 0, tap him before he dies, when it gets back around to your turn. You could have 2 Osgir, 2 lands, and 2 copies of Jeweled Lotus on your battlefield by turn 2.
Yeah, that seems good.
That seems really crazy. I'm a big fan of him.
It's red-white, right?
Right.
So it's like very medium on it.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, it dies. It just dies.
It looks like Prismari is
has
going to
no
have
velocity.
Yeah.
Just, like when you compare it to like something like Wylith, for example, it's just like
Right.
I don't really so much care about the two Jeweled Lotus.
I would say that this goes in the 99 very well.
Yeah.
Of the Boros equipment deck. Wylith is going to probably be your best min-max, at least in our opinion, for the Boros equipment commander deck, but I think that there's some very high potential for this to be in the 99.
Yeah, I am seeing Adam imagine the ramp with Mana Crypt and Soul Ring, anything like that. I do see the value there. So it's just like, you want to loot away one of your high cost artifacts, or if it gets destroyed, you're able to get additional value out of the graveyard. So that's kind of cool. I do like that, but it really comes down to what kind of big splashy turns can we do in red white with this as the commander. I know that there's good red white decks with like Zerta and again Wylith, but I don't know if Oscar will be enough to really blow the format up.
Right. Yeah. So we've got Zaphi Thunder Conductor, and it looks like we've got this thing with Prismari where mana value 5 or greater, mana value 10 or greater. That's going to be a thing. We've already seen mana value 5 or greater pop up on creatures other than Zaphi. Zaphi. I'm not sure. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, you get to scry. If that spell's mana value that you cast was 5 or greater, create a 4/4. If it's 10 or greater, it deals 10 damage to an opponent chosen at random. Could be pretty explosive.
Yeah, I think so.
Get you some mana rocks going. Go big spell tribal and is it?
Yeah.
And every time you cast, you get that value. That's not once per turn.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty brutal. Looking at the Simic one here, we've got Adrix and Nev, twin casters. Ward of 2, a new ability here. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays 2. And then if one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead.
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good.
And then we've also got our legendary bird Warlock, Brina the Demagogue. A black, a white, and one other for a 1/3 flyer. Whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, if that opponent has more life than another of your opponents, that attacking player draws a card and you put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. I love this. I love this meme in response. Trying to read.
I like this.
Trying to read the text here of our Brina the Demagogue.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
If an opponent has more life than another one of your opponents, so essentially you just want to attack not the player with the least life. They get to draw a card. So if you attack the player with not the least life, the attacking player draws a card and you get 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature.
Yeah, like what the shit?
And then our Witherbloom, Willow Dusk, Essence Seer, a green, a black, and 1. Pay 1, tap it, choose another target creature, put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of life you gained or the amount of life you lost this turn. Whichever's greater, activate only as a sorcery. Again, it's fine. Growing a creature like that, if you're just attacking, could be good. Could be great, because you can dump it on a token, give your stuff trample with an enchantment or some equipment, and then it's attacking through.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of cool.
We saw our land cycle, which is pretty good. Wrapping these out, I'm pretty sure that this is the end of a cycle that's already existed, right?
No.
These have never existed?
No.
Well, these are excellent to add then.
Yeah, these are a brand new kind of thing. I like them, but again, I do wish that they had been something that you could tutor, But again, that makes them way too powerful.
Right.
Is someone saying that they are? These have been printed? They have been printed in the past? Oh, never mind. Okay, what are they then? Where are they from?
I'm trying to search them up on Scryfall right now. I'm not familiar with them.
I mean, they're new names, but it's like a recreated card, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a reprint. I don't think it's a reprint. I think these are... Scryfall's going really slow this morning.
Yeah.
Shadows over Innistrad, Lorwyn block,
it.
Innistrad block, Enemies of the Cycle. There was a similar cycle. Port Town, Fortified Village. Well, regardless, these are great for Constructed.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll do great things in Constructed for sure. They're completing the cycle.
Yeah. Game Trail. Oh, okay. I see.
Oh, they're from... Got it. They're from Shadows. Okay, Shadows over Innistrad. You're right. Got it. The reveal lands. I see what you're saying. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some really nice stuff today. I like what's going on here.
Oh, here's a new one that's just been spoiled. Plarg, Dean of Chaos. A red one for a 2/2 tap, discard a card, draw a card. Jake, that's right up your alley. Pay 5, tap, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary, non-land card with mana value 3 or less. You can cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put all revealed cards not cast this. Wow. Nice little mana sink there.
Yeah, that's neat.
Mana ability, rather. Other tapped creatures you control get +1/+0. Other untapped creatures you control get +0/+1. Whenever you attack, untap each creature you control, then tap any number of creatures you control. Oh, weird. Okay, so when you attack, you can leave them tapped to give them +1/+0, or you can attack with your whole line and untap your whole line.
Wow. Yeah.
That's very interesting. And these dual cards are just these, like, Deans. Dean of Chaos and Augusta Dean of Order. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're getting heavy into the spoilers now, everybody. We're not going to preview every single thing that's being dropped today. We just wanted to go over this initial preview video from Wizards of the Coast. Let me throw it back here. Pretty nuts day, y'all. So far, I think this has been pretty excelente. I'm very excited to dig into this set. There's going to be art cards in this set apparently as well. All right, well, y'all, Strixhaven previews have begun. There is a lot of info to take in here, and we will be covering it all on the channel. Make sure that you are subscribed.
That's the best way to support the channel.
That is.
With just the click of a button.
It absolutely is. We're going to skedaddle. Make sure you are back here tonight. We have got...
Yeah, we're going to be cracking 2 boxes. I'm going to go get them really quick. I'm going to show them off.
Yeah, show them off.
Get it going.
We've got 2 boxes of Time Spiral Remastered to open up tonight. Chase some old border foils. This weekend, we're going to have some fan fights. Look at those boxes.
2 boxes. Time Spiral Remastered. Oh, my green screen is on, it looks like, or there's something going on there. I think we're good. But yeah, we're going to open these. It's going to be a blast. 72 packs. We're going to try to see if we can beat Daniel's pack that had Tarmogoyf, Time-Shifted Thoughtseize, and Time-Shifted Foil Ponder. I don't know if it's going to happen, but you never know.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be pretty crazy. I think this is going to be a nuts day. I got to update my computer background with some... Strixhaven art. It is time. It is time to roll.
All right.
Everybody have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Get the weekend started. May we suggest getting your weekend started this evening with Time Spiral Foil Quest here on the channel. Jake, what time does that start?
It's going to start at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight.
6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Everybody make sure you are there. We're going to open up some more border foils.
Just about 8 hours and 10 minutes. You want to be there.
8 hours and 10 minutes. The time has started. Ladies and gents, have a wonderful rest of your day.